Hi, I'm Gord Miller, Environmental Commissioner of Ontario, and today I want to talk about a new report just released. The report is the report to the Ontario Government on energy efficiency and conservation, as well as a spin I'm putting in this year, and how that relates to greenhouse gases. But we're looking through the lens of municipalities this year. What are the municipalities doing, and how can the province help them or get out of their way to make them successful at reducing energy consumption and greenhouse gas reduction? Specifically in this video, I want to talk about one of those initiatives. It's called development charges. Now, quickly, what are development charges? Well, development charges are levies that, under law, the municipality can charge, a one-time charge, to developers for each lot or for each commercial development by the square footage to account for the extra cost of roads and water and sewer and transit service and libraries and fire service that go along with expanding the municipality. There's obviously some fixed costs, and development charges is how the municipality gets back some of that money. But they're very controversial because, of course, not all new development is equivalent. You can have new development within a city, whether it be condos or redevelopment of townhouses and something in a dense part of the city, or you can have new suburban greenfield development. And they're not equivalent in a number of ways. Just for instance, just to illustrate here on this graphic, this is the carbon footprint of actually residential buildings, and as you can see, the red is a much higher number of intensity of greenhouse gas reductions, and green is a much lower number. And look, what do you see? Well, new development, if it's inside a dense serviced area, like in this case the City of Toronto, it's green, has a low carbon footprint. But if you build out into the farmland, it's a high carbon, and that's not surprising. People have to drive large distances. It's a different kind of development. The lots are larger. That means more sewers and water mains have to be extended. There's greater distances for fire trucks to respond, and transit is more difficult to service communities because they have to go longer ways to pick up fewer people. So that's the concept of development charges, and the problem with this, how they're currently constructed, is that a lot in town, for many municipalities, a lot in town is charged the same development charge as a lot, say, out in a rural greenfields area in the suburbia, and the costs are different. So in that sense, the lots in town are actually subsidizing greenfield development, and that's not a good thing. The development charge system should be built to reflect the real cost and encourage the kind of development we want to see that is energy efficient and greenhouse gas minimizing. But there's one more really insidious aspect of this development charge that I want to highlight, and that's with respect to transit. Odd thing here, so you'd think that when you had a big expansion, say a big giant subdivision attached onto a municipality, that people would say, here's our chance to improve the transit, bigger, better, maybe even light rail when we've never been able to afford it before. Well, that doesn't happen because development charges by law are limited to the cost to extend the level of transit that the municipality has had for the previous 10 years. So if a municipality has had mediocre transit for 10 years, all you can charge for that big new subdivision is the amount of money to extend mediocre transit. You can't make things better, or at least you do. You can't use it in development charges. So that is one sort of bad disincentive to improve the transit long term. But if that's not enough, there's one extra one, and that is not only can you charge only that amount to extend the 10-year average transit cost into that subdivision, you have to discount that cost by 10% for some reason. Now, you don't have to discount the cost of new roads by 10%. So right off the bat, transit is put at an artificial disadvantage to roads, and it is any wonder in these subdivisions that all we get is lousy transit and lots of roads. That's something that should be fixed. It has to be fixed in the law, and that's what I'm calling for in the report.